What's up, Magnetites? Been a little bit. Basically just been working like crazy. Every time I seem to get on here, that's my excuse, but it's the truth. Because, you know, YouTube doesn't pay the bills unless you're like, maybe Marsh and Gnarly? But I don't think Marsh actually takes advantage of it. I was listening to him on that Spencer Presley show. I don't think he actually takes advantage of the ad revenue, which, you know, but maybe he should. Could help out with his student loans and stuff he was talking about. But anyway, point being, let's get into today's topic. The 25th anniversary. Now, I know I'm late to the game because Tony For You's got a great video on how it's, you know, kind of pointless, how they didn't do anything that they were supposed to do. I think Bagamaka has one. There's a lot of videos on the depression sent through the fans of Megaten, but specifically Persona through this 25th anniversary. In Japan, you got all kinds of gimmicky things, ranging from like BGM setups and like costumes all the way to like mouthwash and toothpaste. Concerts, things I would still like, even if those were here, I personally would not be like, oh boy, you know, I'm not that I like video games, you know, I like the Megaten video games. So if you offer me, you know, a cookie with Morgana's face on it, it's not exactly like, oh wow, I've got to get that, or Joker on a shampoo bottle. It's not really that big a deal to me. But maybe I'm not the majority of people, you know. So, you know, everybody's different. Everybody's different. But that being said, I don't know. I was overly, I don't know if I was disappointed because I don't know what I really expected from it, but not getting, look, getting Soul Hackers 2 was really cool and unexpected in my opinion. I know that a lot of people didn't love it. However, as somebody who likes the original Soul Hackers, but kind of found it to be, I don't know. It's weird how I can say I wasn't a fan of Soul Hackers, yet I love like the original SMT games, even though they're essentially modeled in the same vein. I don't know. I wasn't like obsessed with Soul Hackers. You know, it wasn't like this great, crazy great game to me. But I like it. It's definitely a good game. It's just, I don't know. I'm not as character driven, which is probably why I lean more Shin Megami Tensei than I do Persona. But like, I don't know. I just wasn't feeling it that much. It just wasn't that great to me. But I actually had a good time. I mean, I didn't beat it, so that might kind of say that you didn't love it. But I've been playing Soul Hackers. I just had so much work lately. I haven't had time to like sit down and just finish it. I've enjoyed the game. I've enjoyed you know, what it is and what it comes out as. I think there's a ton of great ideas in Soul Hackers 2 that I probably won't even have the time before I beat it to get to truly utilize, but maybe in like a new Game Plus run I will. But digressing, this is not a Soul Hackers video. I'm not really sure what I thought we were going to get this time around. I mean, it's one of those things where like, yeah, I expected to get some cool announcement, maybe Persona 6 is coming, maybe another Persona Q game. Not that a lot of people wanted that, but, you know, just something that I could, you know, play and enjoy. And we did not get, sorry, a little bit sick. We did not get anything that I thought we would. I thought maybe there'd be an announcement for, I mean, they could have done a Strikers for Persona 4, Persona 3. Not that, again, not something I'm a big fan of, but, you know, for everyday Persona fans, that would have been something. They could have just had Persona 6 announced, or maybe a Persona 3 and 4, I don't know. I guess they are porting these games, so that's something. But 1 and 2, again, left in the dust, really just to have the figurehead show up in, like, ads. You would think maybe they would come up with some way to incorporate 1 and 2 at this point, but I get that it's not, you know, what makes Persona at this point, but you would think they would show some love to the games that started it all, but at this point, we're really not getting anything. And, you know, it's a little bit, it's depressing to people like me that liked Persona 1 and 2, but for others, maybe it's not such a big deal. You know, other people feel a different way. I guess I'm just kind of shocked that we didn't really... What was the point in the announcement? What was the point in, like... I mean, I guess you have to announce 25 years in their eyes, but, like, to not give anything or give, hey, it's 25th it's the 25-year, you know, anniversary, and on the 27th year, you're getting Persona 6. You think you would get something to at least, you know, keep you hanging on. But I think the concert's done. There was no announcement there of anything. I don't know. You just kind of figured they would have put together something a little bit more weighted with a little bit more value or something deeper. And we really didn't get that. So I am kind of shocked by that in a way. I'm a little bit surprised that it's stuck to the same kind of like, hey, look at this. We have trinkets. We have, like, we're porting stuff, which, I mean, I'm cool with ports, but they're not adding anything. You know, I'm trying to remember, maybe it was Nam's Compendium, and he does good work, but he kind of mentioned how, and forgive me if I'm misattributing this to him, I think he wrote about how typical Atlas ports back in the day would come with something additional. You know, it would usually be on a better like SMT1 would go to PlayStation, and it would also add some other things. Like, I guess it would add a little bit of extra content and things like that. Maybe cutscenes or so, you know, something of that nature. So for some people that's like, who cares? But I actually enjoy that. It actually gives me a reason to go back. I like when they add a little bit of extra content, a new final boss and things like that. Like, to me, that's something special. So if you're going to port Persona 3, 4, and 5 to something, why not add a little something extra to it? I think that it really, I don't know, it heightens the reasons to buy a game. Because what is the reason to buy 3, 4, and 5 if you've already potentially played it on PS2? Played Golden on Vita, or played, well, at least Golden makes a little more sense because it was only on Vita, but like Persona 3 and Persona 5 on you know, being ported to all these other systems. I mean, you've had a lot of options here. Well, you know, I'm gonna actually have to rethink that real quick. I guess 3 and 4 make sense why they ported them all these systems, but 5? Like, everybody's played 5. There's no reason to port that. You can play, I mean, I don't know. My opinion is that they should have added something extra if they're going to sell the same game again. That's all. You know, better graphics, which I guess comes with the system that they're putting it to. But, like, maybe a little bit of an overhaul. Like, maybe make Persona 3 and 4 look like 5. You know, really, I mean, you did it for the dancing stuff, so why not include it? Oh, right, I'm forgetting Ultimax. So they gave us Ultimax, which, okay, like, it's a cool game, I guess, but like, that's what you get for a 25th anniversary, a game that came out 5 years ago, or maybe 6 years ago. I mean, like, that feels underwhelming as fug, as a way to get around the censorship there. I don't know. I do not feel like I suddenly was given everything I ever wanted because I was given Ultimax. I don't know. I guess I was looking forward to either a new game, a true enhanced port of a game, like a real, like almost more like a remaster. And honestly, I was really looking for Persona 1 and 2 to get some kind of shine here. Maybe a third Persona 2. So like, you know, you have EP, ISEP, and then who knows, maybe something like Persona 2 Aftermath or something like that to kind of like see how things all turned out. Maybe we actually imagine they're already adults, so now we get to see them as even older adults and how they would go through the day-to-day with the Persona. Well, what about a game? You know, it also would have been cool for like the Persona 3 stuff. What if we got a Persona 3, I'm blanking on the name. What if we had a Persona 3 like prequel about how Jin and like Jesus-like looking dude and Chidori all like got together, and how, you know, they kind of must have devolved into their madness. Like, I think that would be a cool game. That like a prequel to Persona 3. Like, why not see you how Strega? Jeez, I could not think of that for my life. It just popped into my head. How about a Persona 3 Strega story? That would be cool as fuck. That would be fun. That would be so cool to see. I mean, just a little something to kind of like the same way they did Adachi and Ultimax, and I give them credit for that. Like something to see a little bit more, a little bit of reasoning, a little bit of something special that we don't typically get to see. I think that would have been really cool. You know, with Persona 1 and 2, again, like let's see how they are as they're a little bit older. Maybe age the cast up and see what's happening then. See if some other crazy thing could pull them in. I mean, main dude from Persona 1's working in an office, and then all of a sudden he's pulled into some kind of like, you know, Persona-verse where he's got to deal with stuff. Like, I mean, just there's so many things they could have just worked on that probably, depending on what kind of game and what kind of structure it was, probably wouldn't have taken them a lot of time to create, considering they have the assets from the PSP, the Vita, and PS2 and onward. Considering they have all the assets to create the games, it probably shouldn't have taken them too long to make something. You know, when you go back and you see how many mobile spin-offs they had made back in the day for the little handheld phones, you know, like the flip phones and like those kind of style of phones, it really shows that they were dedicated to making these spin-offs. And I'm personally someone who would be down to play a lot of those spin-offs if they were ever translated on something that was accessible. But like that being said, they used to do a lot of that stuff, and I wish they would do more of it. So I don't know. Overall, extremely underwhelming. I don't know what it's extremely underwhelming. Yet at the same time, I didn't really expect anything because I really wasn't like thinking about it. Like, oh, it's a 25th anniversary. I don't know. For some reason, when SMT announced 25, and maybe it's my bias toward preferring that series, but I was like, oh, this is it. We're gonna be getting something. Like, I don't know. It felt like something was coming. Whereas this kind of just felt bare bones, and not like, even though this is their money, Persona's obviously their money maker. So I'm not like, well, it's not like I wouldn't think they would do something. I guess I just wasn't thinking about it. I guess because they've released so much Persona 5 stuff over the last 5-6 years, spin-offs and other things, I just didn't like really consider the fact that it could potentially be time that they actually unleash something for Persona. I just wasn't really thinking about it. But that being said, I'm already off this train. I see the SMT 30th anniversary, and the only thing I can say is now this lack of doing anything for the 25th for Persona has got me nervous about what they're going to do for the 30th of SMT, if anything. So now I'm more nervous about that. That's really what was the most devastating part of this for me. But that being said, I still think they're going to want to look into this a bit, and maybe they really will, you know, give us something great for the 30th anniversary. I mean, look, if they could do Soul Hackers during the Persona anniversary, who's to say they won't do Persona during the SMT anniversary, considering it's a spin-off of SMT? You never know. So I think we just got to wait it out, see what happens. Sorry to everybody who's extremely disappointed with this, you know, anniversary. I mean, I'm pretty much equally as unenthused and unimpressed with what happened, and hopefully we'll get some good stuff in you know, come